Are you coming back to school with me? We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson-Wood. I'm your host on Teaching with Board Games, here today to do a special episode, a battle report. I don't do battle reports often because that's not really the main thing my channel does, but I enjoy watching battle reports, and I enjoy making battle reports too. So once in a while I will do them, particularly for a game which I think has a lot of, either I really enjoy it or I think it has some really good educational content to it. This one has both, although with the educational content, it's not what I'd be recommending for schools because of the level of violence in the game, but it is what it is. This game is called Urban Manhunt. It's by Cynthia Celeste Miller, and it's basically Running Man, the movie, into a miniatures game. So each player in the game is controlling a hunter, and the hunters are hunting down criminals who are popping up almost Hunger Games style in the middle of this post-apocalyptic city, which this whole event is being televised, and fans are giving approval, disapproval as to the actions of the hunters when they're killing these criminals. So it's really interesting because it's the first game I've seen when you're playing against opponents, but you're not allowed to attack their pieces. The whole idea is to just attack the criminals in the center of the board and be the one to eliminate them. If your hunter just wounds the criminal, but the other one is the one that finally finishes them off, that hunter gets all the points for it. So there's this real sort of interesting dynamic that goes on there. Today, what I'm doing is I'm playing, well, I say today, but let's just be honest. I played this game already, and this is the intro that I'm filming after the fact. I know what happens. I know the ending. And I played 3 hunters in the game, and I just controlled all 3 hunters. And I really just played them all like I wanted each one to win. I really tried my best with each of them, and just I want to give a sense of how the game plays, but it's with COVID and stuff still hard to find some people to come over to play. So I did it all on my own, and that way too I'm just running on my own schedule. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this battle report of Urban Manhunt. So let's take a look at the hunters for today's battle report. First up, we have the legend himself, the stretchy simian Elasta-Ape. So Elasti-Ape's stats are going to be a fight of 5, shoot of 1, because he's not going to throw anything that's going to hurt. May fling some poop, but that's about it. But there's no actual shooting attacks he'll be making. Defense of 3, athletics of 4, mind of 3, and a pizzazz of 3. With an athletics of 4, it does give him a wound maximum of 5, and he's got a height of 2. Special rules for Elasti-Ape are he's a hand-to-hand combatant, which means that he may upgrade up to 2 dice when making a fight check for an attack with an unarmed keyword, which is his only attack. He's got resilience to blunt attacks with his rubber body. Damage resistance checks are upgraded for all dice versus blunt attacks. He has charge. When Elasti-Ape ends his movement engaged and was at least 6 inches away from where he'd started his activation, if his next action is a fight action, and he may add 1 to the attack's damage. And he's a natural climber, both being a monkey and a stretchy, so his dice are never downgraded when making athletics checks to determine movement distance up or down on climbable terrain. And for purposes of that, when I show you the board, the climbable terrain will be the outside of any building. We'll just assume that there's fire escapes, ladders, cracks, crevices, things that if people want to, they could climb up the buildings, just to make things easy. His momentum options are reroll, obviously. Reroll 1 dice per momentum spent. All dice must be rolled simultaneously. He has lunging strike, which he's spent an extra 2 points on to give it, so he only needs to spend 1 momentum on it. And this says, before declaring a melee action, increase the attack's range by 2 inches for the rest of the hunter's activation. So this is, stretching his punch. And then sprint, which he's also spent another 2 points on to make it only 1 momentum, and used during your hunter's activation. Each success you roll for athletics checks to determine your hunter's movement distance provides an additional success, so stretching his legs to cover more ground. And his one and only attack is the Stretchy Monkey Punch. It has a range of 2 inches, an accuracy of +1, damage of 2, keywords unarmed and blunt, extra rules, weak against armor, which means if the target of this attack has armor, then treat them as though their armor is one level higher than it actually is. And that is Elasti-Ape. Next up, we have 10-NIS-BLL, affectionately known as Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball has the following stats: a fight of 4, a shoot of 5, defense of 2, athletics of 3, mind of 1, and a pizzazz of 4. So this is one rock'em sock'em robot with the excellent fighting stats. He's really sort of the shoot first, ask questions later, and the best defense is a strong offense kind of guy. His special rules are armor, level 3. He's well-rounded, pun intended, level 1, which means you can upgrade 1 dice, and if 3+, then gain 1 momentum. Resilience to injury. When the target of an injury card, you can ignore and discard it, because he's a robot, it's harder to injure him. And ready to rock, level 1, so he's starting the game with 1 momentum. His momentum options are the reroll, come out and play, which he's spent 2 extra points for to make it only 1 momentum cost, which is auto pass a spot check, so that's his scanners finding the hidden crims. Arsenal, ignore cards which make Hunter lose an item, so his gun is not going to be dropped because it's attached to him. And that's it for his momentum options. His attacks are, he's got his basic Robo Punch, range 0, accuracy 0, damage 1, melee, blunt, unarmed. And then he has his gun called the Wild Card, and that is a range of 12 inches, accuracy +1, damage 2. Keywords depletable, item, ballistic, and gun. He has cover negation, which means the cover does not provide protection against this attack. And extended ammo. He begins the game with a 1 free reload for this attack. So if he does run out of ammo, he's got spares. It's all stored up inside him. And that is it for Tennis Ball. And last up, we have Glockroach. Glockroach has the following stats: a fight of 2, shoot of 5, defense of 4, athletics of 3, mind of 2, pizzazz of 3. 4 wounds with a height of 2. Special rules: Glockroach is a hit bug. Whenever this hunter eliminates a crim, you gain 1 extra momentum and may move this hunter's model up to 4 inches, ignoring difficult terrain. Slip away: when targeted by attack, move the hunter up to 4 inches, ignoring difficult terrain. Get this idea with all this moving 4 inches. He's just this skittering bug, just scuttling all over the battlefield here. And keeping to his Roach theme, his last special rule is I'll be back, and not just in a rerun, which means he can upgrade up to 2 dice when making a recovery check. His momentum options are welcome to the concrete jungle. When a hunter eliminates a crim, move them up to 4 inches towards the nearest piece of cover terrain. So again, that's scuttling. Reroll. And Arsenal, which is used to ignore any card or effect which has the item keyword, just like Tennis Ball has. For his weapons, he has the Bug Bomb. The Bug Bomb is a can of raid that he throws at people, a range of 6 inches, accuracy 0, damage 1, ranged item, depletable, thrown, and gaseous. Extra rules are it's armor piercing. No armor has no effect on this thing. And it's limited ammo, which means it's a negative perk of this, which means that the attack is depleted when your impact dice rolls a 1 or a 2. His guns are the Glockenspiel. They have a range of 10 inches, accuracy of +2, damage of 1. Keywords are ballistic, gun, small item, and depletable. He has rapid fire 2, so if his target has another target within 3 inches, he can shoot them both. And armor piercing of 1. And that is Glockroach. So those are your hunters for tonight, folks. Let me show you to the battlefield. So this is the battlefield for today. I've actually put these counters down here, so that's to show the zones. We have zone 2, zone 1, zone 3, and this is zone 4. It's just been broken off. So we've got a McDoom's burger thing there. We have some ruins, a fallen water tower, some busted up cars and tanks, and storage containers, rubble, lots of places for the crims to be hiding and the hunters to be seeking them out. So here we have their pods. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. In the middle we have the 5, 6, and then 7, 8, and 9, 10. For the pods are Elasta Ape chose to put one on the roof. Tennis Ball put one by the McMurdy's here, and Glockroach put it by the storage container here, so it's all spilling out, keeping thematic. So all the pods and tunnels are obeying the rules for purposes of staying away from the edges and corners, staying away from each other, and that will be the battlefield. And just zooming over here, this will be the layout. So the character sheets will be here. We'll take a moment to figure out who is going first. All the cards are there. The skull will be representing who is the first player each turn. And these are the dice, and the red one is obviously the impact die. So let's roll them up and see who is the first player. Tennis Ball has 4 dice for pizzazz. Rolls it up, and we need 6 or greater, so we have 2, 3 successes with Tennis Ball. Elasti-Ape has 3 and has no successes, and Glockroach has 3 and has the 10 counts as 2 successes. You can't count it as anything else here. You can't get any other bonuses, just counts as 2 successes. So it's just 2, so it will be Tennis Ball, Glockroach, then Elasta-Ape. So this is the setup for Tennis Ball. He chose to go into zone 2 here. He's got a nice open area, wide range to scout. And Glockroach chose the top corner up there. And then Elasta-Ape came into the bottom corner of zone 4. So those are the hunter positions. And now we'll get on to the placing of the crims. I should note too that as I do have the Urban Manhunt companion book, and it has those new mandatory rules, I will be playing by those. So you will only score once when scoring a pod, and there will also be the new focus rule, and there will also be the prowling. Okay, so Tennis Ball is going to be the first one to choose. So he has to choose the location where the criminal is going to go, which will be the one closest to him, and it is a petty crook. So today I'm using my miniatures from the Batman Gotham City Chronicles, which I painted up, so they nicely represent all the criminals I'll be needing for this game. So this model here will represent my petty crook, and we'll go here closest to Tennis Ball. Next up is Glockroach, who will also get a petty crook. Oh, I forgot to mention, but I think for now Glockroach was going to put the one petty crook closest to his own position. So we have 2 petty crooks on this side of the board. Elasti-Ape's going to go for a gamble and have not a petty crook, but the next crim going into the center of the board, and it's a sneaky thief. And so we'll put it down into there. Criminal should be number of hunters plus 2, so we're at 3. So Tennis Ball's next. Tennis Ball will put this at the 3-4 tunnel, which is a pistol packing hoodlum. Okay, technically this guy's got an Uzi, but it'll do. And he goes down over there. Approach has to place the last one at the tunnel closest to Elasti-Ape, and it is a petty crook. So all the hunters are sort of having a little amuse-bouche, an appetizer of petty crook before they move on to the main courses. But we'll place it as far away from Elasti-Ape as possible. Okay, so I've added a bit more light, so hopefully that's going to help. I was noticing it was a little bit dark, so hopefully that helps out with the board now. Hopefully it's lit things up a bit better. Anyway, it's the start of the game, so I have these, for a standard game, the 10 control cards. I have those in here, and I'm going to flip over the card. Tennis Ball is the first player. Here we go. So pod 2 is restocked, but we don't need to restock pods because it's just starting the game. Player 1 is going to draw an event card. We're not placing any crims, and then we have our criminal actions, which are going to be letting us know how these criminals are going to behave. Game ends. Well, it's not ending because we haven't got through our deck of cards yet. All right, so going to jump over to the player one takes an event. So for the first turn, Tennis Ball is going to move towards that hunter and then engage it. But first we need to roll the athletics dice for the move to see how far Tennis Ball can move. Remember, hunters move 4 inches plus an additional inch for each success they get for their athletics roll. So Tennis Ball has an athletics of 3, and so it rolled a 1 on the impact die, which is bad luck. So that's so just double checking. Good thing that this wasn't anything worse. Like if it was a shoot or something, it might have had I've already been losing ammo. All this means is that Tennis Ball is -1 success, so this success does not count. So he has 0 successes, means he's only moving 4 inches, which is fine. He still has a gun, which means he's moving to here, and we'll then shoot the Crim. Crim's easily within the 12-inch range that Tennis Ball has. So let's do up the attack. Looking again at Tennis Ball's attack, it's accuracy +1 with 2 damage. So we'll look at the accuracy +1. So he has a shoot of 5. So he's going to roll 5 dice and needs 5s or up to be a successful hit. He's going to use the well-rounded to upgrade one of the dice. So one of the dice is now a 12-sided. Now they're going to need 5 or greater with the accuracy of +1. And with the well-rounded, I wasn't clear when I explained it earlier. If I get 3 successes on the roll here, then Tennis Ball will get another momentum. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So 4 successes means that Tennis Ball is getting an extra momentum from the well-rounded. So I'm going to use these color cubes. I'm not going to fuss too much about the color of them. But so that is the second one, because Tennis Ball did start with 1 from the Ready to Rock. So he is at 2. Now the Petty Crook, look at the Petty Crook. The Petty Crook only has a defense of 1. So that's a surplus of 3 with 4 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. So surplus of 3. So we're going to be adding 3 to the damage, which is 5 then. So we're going to roll 5 dice again. And with 5 dice, needing these, we have 1, 2, 3 successes, and the Petty Crook has 3 wounds, so that is an insta-kill. So we'll put this one up here with Tennis Ball to show that that's Tennis Ball's kill. Tennis Ball gets a bonus momentum for the kill. And on to Glockroach. So the last thing we have to do is look at the quality of the kill. So Tennis Ball has a pizzazz of 4. So that's 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, always the impact dice. And there was no bonus wounds. If there was extra wounds on top of the Crim, we would be adding extra into here, but it's just the 4. This is going to see if it was a kill that's worthy of the audience, if they're going to approve. And no, in fact, they hated it. They thought it was really boring. Really did have rotten luck there, Tennis Ball. So there's nothing there. You can't go into negatives, but so there's no bonus points for the kill. On to Glockroach. So Glockroach is going to do the same. I'm going to move and then attack the petty criminal near him. So he is going to roll his. So he's got athletics of 3. So he has 3 successes, so he can move a total of 7 inches, which is going to put him right over there now. So Glockroach is going to make the attack. Glockroach has a shoot of 5, accuracy of +2, so he'll be hitting on 4s, and the criminal does not have any cover from where Glockroach is standing, so it's just a straight 5 dice. So we have a 10, but 10 only counts when it's on the impact die. So we have 1, 2, 3, 3 successes. So 3 successes against the criminal's defense of 1 is a surplus of 2, means that the damage is increased to 3. So we're rolling 3 dice for the damage. and that's only 1 wound. So that's only 1 wound done to the criminal. I'll mark that wound and end the turn for Glockroach. So Elasti-Ape, without a really long-range weapon, is going to need to see how far he can make it. He's probably not going to even be able to reach the crim on the first turn here. He's going to have to probably make both his rolls into athletics. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the momentum right now to be able to turn any of his sprint dice for bonus movement. So let's just roll to see what he gets. Maybe he'll get lucky here. So we have an athletics of 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, well that's 3. That one would be a -1 success. That'd be 2 successes. Would be 6. Yeah, so the first move only got Elasti-Ape this far, so definitely going to need to make another athletics check to try and engage that criminal. There we go. Now we have 3 more successes, which would be a total of 7 inches of movement. In a sudden burst of speed, Elasti-Ape rushes around the criminal and cuts him off from going deeper into the map. As we go into now that all the hunters have done all their actions, we go into the criminal phase. So the criminals are doing their thing here. So a typical demeanor is going to do number 1, and typical demeanors are the demeanors found on the petty criminals. So let's look at them first. So the number 1 says they're going to flee or charge. Okay, so there's only 2 left right now. One is engaged with Elasta-Ape, and the other one is being shot at by Glockroach. So let's see, the one with Elasta-Ape is already engaged, so he's going to stay there. And then let's see what happens to the one with Glockroach. The 5 he flees, 6 to 10 he charges. He's running. So looking to leave Glockroach behind, but unknowingly running towards Tennis Ball. So the Sneaky Thief is a cowardly demeanor, which is doing a number 3 this turn, which means on a 1 to 5 it's going to seek cover. On a 6 to 10 it will hide. It is going to hide. For that Sneaky Thief, there is a trash bin right here, a recycling bin. So I'll just put it in front of the recycling bin and know that it's hiding in there. I just laid it down as a reminder. So the pistol packing hoodlum is a typical demeanor, so going to do number 1, which is shoot. But looking at where the hoodlum is, the hoodlum cannot see any of the hunters. I mean, Elasti-Ape is the closest, but that storage container's in the way. So when they cannot take their shoot action, they go to seek cover instead. So the hoodlum is just going to hug up against that storage container instead. Now this one against Elasti-Ape here, we saw that the cheap thugs, or the petty crooks rather, are on a 1 to 5 will flee, on 6 to 10 will charge. If this one chooses to flee, it will actually take a disengagement strike from Elasta-Ape. Let's see if the crim chooses to fight or flee. And 9 is fight. So the attack against Elasta-Ape, the petty crook has a fight of 1. Now you never roll for the criminal, so Elasti-Ape just has to make a defense roll against that. So Elasti-Ape has a defense of 3. So defense of 3. That's 1 success, so the attack is negated. Nothing happens. We're going to move the first player token down to Glockroach. So Glockroach will be taking the first turn here and turning over the control card. So the control card says all pods are restocked. Well, none have been touched. First player draws 3 event cards. You place 1 crim, and we will because 1 is missing, and then the rest will come later. So the crim is a stealthy sniper, and the stealthy sniper is going to tunnel 8. That's Stealthy Sniper, aka Deathstroke, goes right there. Unfortunately, it seems that Glockroach just fed some more points to Tennis Ball, but who knows, maybe Glockroach can get there first for the kill. We'll see. Or maybe Tennis Ball won't be able to finish off the sniper in 1 turn. Never know. Okay, so drawing 3 event cards. The first one says, dwindling resources. Each player must discard a random keeper card if able. Well, nobody has any keeper cards, and come to think of it, that rotten luck for tennis balls over. So the dwindling resources is not effective. Number 2, legendary crim. The next special crim that enters the zone receives the following merits. Okay, so we'll keep that one to the side there for the next legendary crim. Okay, and then the third card is lack of impetus. The first player loses 4 momentum. A player can't have less than 0 momentum. Okay, so the event cards this turn, with the exception of that legendary crim, didn't really have any effect on the game. So on we go to the first actions with Glockroach leading the way. Glockroach is going to shoot at the petty crook that he wounded the last turn, and we have those are all hits because the +2 accuracy, those are all hits, including a 10 on the impact dice. So with that stellar roll, everything being a hit, and the 10 on the impact dice, Glockroach is actually going to use the 10, instead of gaining any more successes, going to give himself 1 momentum. I think that's going to be more helpful for the future. And so then that's 5 hits versus a defense of 1 is 4 extra, so it's going to be 5 damage then. And we have 2 damage there, which is exactly enough to finish off the crim. Shame that that roll was so poor given how good the first hit was. We're going to roll now for the pizzazz on that to see if Glockroach gets any bonus favor from the fans for a stylish kill. And there's 2 extras, so 2 successes means that Glockroach is getting 2 more points. So I'll just put a 2 there with Glockroach to show there's a bonus 2 points for that kill. And on to Elasti-Ape. So Elasti-Ape is engaged with this petty crook over here, so he's going to thump him. So Elasti-Ape is using a stretchy monkey punch, has an attack of 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand-to-hand combatant, so upgrade 2 of the dice, so put 2 12-sided dice in there, and +1, so hitting on 5s instead of 6s. That's a very poor roll. There's only 2, which is greater than the defense of the crim. So 2 successes, and so that's 1 greater than the crim, so we add 1 more dice to the attack because we have 2 damage +1 for the extra hit made in excess of the defense. And there's absolutely nothing. So Elasta Ape is going to try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 2 successes, which is in excess of 1. Terrible rolls. So 2 successes, so 1 success. So again, we rolling 1 more, and there we go. With that 1 attack, finishes off the crim. There was no wounds in excess of what the crim had. Did 3 wounds, has 3 wounds, so just a straight roll in the pizzazz. And we have 1 success, so Elasti-Ape gets bonus 1 on the petty crook, which is now claimed by him. Okay. And that's Elasti-Ape's turn. So on to tennis ball. A couple of things I'm forgetting. 1, Elasti-Ape gets a momentum for eliminating the crim. And I was also forgetting the hit bug ability here, where they gain an extra momentum. Well, that's where they have 2. No, they gain an extra momentum for eliminating the crim, and they get to move 4 inches after eliminating the crim. So Glockroach will move up to that pod there. Now Tennis Ball has line of sight on that sneaky sniper. Doesn't have to move anywhere, has range, has everything needs. Now the sniper thinks maybe he's safe behind that cover, but with the targeting computers on Tennis Ball, cover means nothing. If Tennis Ball could, he would laugh. Tennis Ball has a shoot of 5 with an accuracy of 1, 3, 4, and 5. The stealthy sniper has a defense of 2. So that is 2 successes. That was a 6. So there's 2 successes. That's a hit. The damage on the wild card is 2. So rolling 2 dice to see what wounds are done to the crim. 2 wounds done. So add those to the crim like so. This ball is going to make the second attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 2 successes again. A lot of 1s, but 2 successes still, which is what was needed. So 2 damage potential. 1, and that is enough to take down the sniper. And making the pizzazz roll for Tennis Ball, he gets 2 bonus for that spectacular kill. Well, each of the hunters made a kill that round, so there's only 2 left. So we'll look at the sneaky thief first. Cowardly Demeanor. Cowardly Demeanor is a 3, which is seek cover or hide. Okay, so let's see what that sneaky thief is going to do. We'll just roll right here. 10. They're going to hide. Okay, disregard that roll. Just double checking the rules, and it said that when they're hidden, they stay hidden for 3 turns. So the sneaky thief is still hiding in the garbage. And then the typical demeanor, the pistol packing hoodlum, is going to be a 3. So seek cover or flee. So 1 to 7 or 8 to 10. So seeking cover. Now to be fair, I think this guy, the pistol packing hoodlum, should have been up here for cover. Just spying on Elasti-Ape. The rules say once a crim is in cover and has to take cover again, if they have a ranged weapon, they will shoot. So the pistol packing hoodlum has a range of 10 inches with the pistol here, so it's going to take a shot against Elasti-Ape. So it's a shot of 2 versus Elasti-Ape's defense of 3. Now, obviously pistols are not blunt attacks, so nothing is upgraded here, and Elasti-Ape gets 2 successes versus the pistol's damage of 2. So, or shoot 2, defense 2, so I'm okay. But boy, is Elasti-Ape mad. So going into the next round, round 3, Elasti-Ape will be the first player. And we will draw the control card, which says no pods are restocked, that's fine. No event cards are drawn, and plays 3 crims, which we can do because 3 criminals are dead. So the first one is a crazy outlaw. And the crazy outlaw is going to number 10. All right, so who's a crazier outlaw than Harley Quinn, right? So Elasti-Ape will put that one down there. Next crim is a crooked lawyer. And the crooked lawyer is going to number 1. And he stumbled right into Elasti-Ape. And the last criminal is another crazy outlaw. Okay, and that one's going to number 3. Well, it seems you can't have one without the other. So we'll put that one there. Looks like Elasti-Ape's got some work cut out for him here. So in the start of the 3rd round here, we have Tennis Ball in the lead with 17 points. Glockroach has 7 points, and Elasta-Ape in last place with 6 points. But Elasti-Ape certainly does have the better selections to make here with the lawyer who just stumbled into him and a couple of crims back there, whereas Glockroach and Tennis Ball have nothing on this side of the board. There is the one thief who's still hiding in the garbage bins over there, so maybe they will be able to take that one, but Elasta-Ape has a bit of a feast going on here, so see if you can make the most of it. So Elasta-Ape is going to make his attack on that lawyer. He has 5 dice, 2 of which are upgraded. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Upgraded because he is the hand-to-hand specialist. Hand-to-hand combatant ability. Yeah. So he's hitting on 5s because of his accuracy. And wowzers. Okay, so he's got 3 there, but he also has the 10 on the impact dice. So with that roll, Elasta-Ape could gain an additional point of momentum, could count that red one as 2 successes, could flip over the top event card and carry it out at the end of the current phase, or put it keep if it's a keeper, or could upgrade up to 2 dice for the damage because that is a successful attack. I think Elasta-Ape is going to just choose the momentum because I think he should be able to take the crim out here, and I don't think the extra, I think he should do okay with the pizzazz and everything too. So we'll add 1 more momentum to Elasta-Ape, and that is 4 successes. 4 successes where only 1 defense on the lawyer. So we'll take out those 2 because we're back down to D10s for the damage. So it's normally a 2 damage, but there was 3 excess on the 3 surplus on the attack. So he's rolling 5 dice again for the damage here. Needing 6s for wounds. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4 wounds. The lawyer only has 2 wounds, so that's 2 excess wounds or 2 surplus wounds. Get that guy out of there. 2 surplus wounds, so that is 2 extra on his pizzazz. So Elasta-Ape has a 3 pizzazz, so we're going to again roll the 5 dice to see how much extra. The fans are just loving the fact that he just ambushed this guy as he came out of the thing. Holy mackerel! So that's. It's 2 right there, and that's another 2 there. We're treating the 10 as 2 successes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 pizzazz. So we'll take the 1 that he has here. We'll just turn that to a 5. And then the lawyer comes down onto Elasta-Ape's card. Poor guy never stood a chance. And for his second action, Elasta-Ape is going to run towards that pistol packing Hoodlum with 1, 2, 3 successes there. The 1 doesn't count on that one because it's not on the impact dice, so 3 successes gives him a total of 7 inches of movement. Which means he is now engaged with the pistol packing Hoodlum. And just in looking here at the rules for the charge, so he did end it was a 7-inch charge. Well, he was more than 6 inches away, and so if his next action is a fight action, he's going to add 1 to the attack's damage. I think that applies here. I don't think it all has to be in the same turn. So on the next turn, Elasta-Ape will get the bonus to the attack damage because of his charge. Okay, and next up is Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball is going to need to try to find somebody to shoot. I mean, there will be more crims coming up, but right now being in the corner with nobody there is a bit harsh. So he's going to run an extra 2 inches, so that's 6. And avoiding the sinkhole, Tennis Ball makes it over to there, heading over towards that hiding sneaky thief. Tennis Ball knows that the thief is around there somewhere, and will use his scanners to find him. But first he needs to move some more, and that's another 6 inches. And he decided to be cheeky and cut off Glockroach there. So I'd actually kind of forgotten about that crazy outlaw back there. She was hidden in the shadows by the building. I think that, you know, Glockroach cannot see her from where he's standing because of the door on that shipping container. Glockroach's plan was to open the pod, but doesn't need anything from the pod right now. Has everything he needs, so he's actually going to move and then maybe shoot her. So let's just, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move Glockroach over to here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to roll to move Glockroach because she will have cover there. Let's see if I can eliminate that cover. So with an athletics of 3, Glockroach can move an extra 2 inches for a total of 6. So he's not making the full use of that movement, just enough that he's going to eliminate the cover that she had behind there. Okay, so the crazy outlaw has a defense of 3. Glockroach has the attack of 5, sorry, the shoot of 5. Roll that up, and no, so the limited ammo is on the bug bomb. I was getting a little bit worried there, but we have 1, 2, 3 successes. So that is a hit, and so no surplus. So we go into the damage, which is 1, and that is going to be a wound. So we have 1 wound on the outlaw. So that crazy outlaw has 5 wounds. That's a lot. So only 1 down now. So here we are into the final phase, the crim phase of the turn. And so we're looking at the sneaky thief. This is the 3rd turn for the sneaky thief, so we'll continue to hide. Going into the pistol packing hoodlum, who is currently engaged with Elasti-Ape. Typical Demeanors 2, so going to shoot. So because the pistol packing hoodlum is engaged with Elasti-Ape, cannot shoot, so instead will fight. The pistol packing hoodlum has a blunt weapon with a fight of 1. So Elasti-Ape has resistance against this. Now it should be, no, I think I've been doing that wrong, so it's damage resistance, not the defense here. So it'll be regular defense against these attacks. So it'll be 3 defense against her fight of 1, and I have, well, that's canceling 1 success, but I still have 1 success, so I'm okay. Next up we have Crazy Outlaw, so we'll treat this as the Crazy Outlaw closest to Elasti-Ape. So the Crazy Outlaw has an aggressive demeanor, which is a 1, so going to shoot. So I think that Outlaw over there, Joker, has a line of sight on Elasti-Ape. However, because Elasti-Ape is engaged, Elasti-Ape can upgrade 2 of his defense dice against this shot. Okay, so Elasti-Ape has 3 defense. I've upgraded 2 defense dice because of the fact that Elasti-Ape is engaged, and this crazy outlaw is actually throwing a piece of dynamite. And I've made 2 successes. The crazy outlaw has a shoot of 2, so that is treated as a miss. And finally, we have the last crazy outlaw here, who is also going to shoot because that's what they're doing this turn. Aggressive demeanors are number 1, which is shooting. So Harley Quinn is also going to throw a piece of dynamite at Glockroach. Now, Glockroach is not engaged with any other crims, so this is a straight shot. Glockroach has a defense of 4 versus a shot of 2. And there are 3 successes, so Glockroach takes no damage. The attack missed. Now I'm just noticing too, I was remembering that card I had here with the legendary crim. It says the next special crim that comes out. Well, what I failed to notice was at the bottom here, special crim. So the first one to come out was Harley Quinn. So Glockroach is actually fighting a legendary Harley Quinn. So she has +2 wounds, +1 damage for all her attacks, and +1 fight and shoot. So she actually, Glockroach made 3 saves and needed to make 3 saves. So unfortunately for poor Glockroach, there's not even an extra bonus for the pizzazz, or playing a legendary thing like this. Sucks to be him. So heading into the 4th round now, we are going to move the first player token up here to tennis ball, and going to take the control card, which says that no pods are restocked. It's okay, nothing's been done. Each player draws 1 event card, discard non-keeper cards, and then we're going to place 1 criminal One criminal only. All right, so tennis ball, it's a keeper card. So he gets limited options. Choose one player. The target player chooses and discards a keeper card from their hand. Okay, so he's going to keep that. And right behind you, play when an unengaged crim within 12 inches of your hunter takes a flee action. The hunter may immediately move up to 5 inches towards the crim, using the most direct route possible, ignoring difficult terrain. Okay, and then Elasti-Ape, it says thing. So, tennis ball is going to make Glock Roach discard his card. So these event cards are either no effect or just canceling each other out. All right, so adding one crim. So the crim being added is a Cyborg Bully. Let's see where this guy's going. To number 9. Number 9. So the Cyborg Bully is right here. And you know what? No, we're not going to engage it. It's a tough choice, really, because I can engage it with Glockroach, put Glockroach in a world of trouble, or I can try and take him out for my own points. And I think that tennis ball is going to just go for the targets. He's just going to try and take down that Cyborg Bully. So tennis ball is going to turn around here. I like to have people facing the right way. Easily has the range on the Cyborg Bully there, and has a 5 shoot value. Rolls it up. So has lost. So the wrong one. Extended ammo. So he can reload. Has a reload for that because he just lost his ammo for that attack. And it's 2. Cyborg Bully has a defense of 2, so that does hit. So that hit the Cyborg Bully, but no surplus. Okay, so tennis ball's gun has a damage of 2. So rolling 2 dice, and because the Cyborg Bully has an armor of 2, that means you're downgrading 2 of the dice. So the 2 dice get downgraded from the D10s to the D8s, and so no damage is done. So tennis ball takes a second shot and gets its accuracy of +1, so the 5s hit. So we have 3, so there's a surplus of 1. So I'm rolling 3 dice for the damage. Oh, 1 is downgraded. And it is 1 damage. So the Cyborg Bully takes 1 damage. So Glockroach is going to now take his turn. Glockroach has 5 dice, and he has rapid fire, and so he's going to pick. It doesn't matter which target he picks, and he's in a perfect. Glockroach really is in a perfect position here to get both targets without either of them being in cover. So rolling 5 dice. First off, we'll start off against Harley Quinn, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and she has a defense of 3, and her defense is not increased for being a legendary crim. So that's +1 to the damage. So he's getting 2 damage on her, and that's 2 damage because that'll count as 2. Oh, it's crazy, but Harley Quinn has 7 wounds. So that's 3 out of 7 that she's taken now. On to the shot against the Cyborg Bully. Now remember, this is all the first shot because of Glockroach's rapid fire. So 4 is actually hit with his +2 accuracy. So those are 4 hits against 2. So he has +2 to his damage. Now, you always get the 1 impact dice. Got the bonus 2 damage. With the 2 armor, 2 dice are downgraded, but Glockroach does have armor piercing, so 1 armor was ignored. So it's a 2 D10s and D8, 1 being the impact dice, and that's 1 more damage to the Cyborg Bully. On to the second shot against Harley Quinn. 3, 4, 5. Those are all but 1 hit. So that is 3, 4 against our defense of 3 is +1 damage. So we're rolling 2 dice. And those are 2 wounds. Puts her up to 5. Yeah, normally that would have killed a regular crazy outlaw, but Harley Quinn is legendary. So this is against the Cyborg Bully, the second shot, and they all but 1 hit. So that's 4 and 4 hits. So that's a defense of 2. So that's a bonus 2 again. So we're back to 2D impact, D10, and a D8. And we have nothing. Nothing at all. Glockroach has decided to use 2 of his momentum to re-roll these 2 dice and got 1 wound. So Elasti-Ape is attacking the pistol packing Hoodlum, and if you recall, Elasti-Ape charged. So if we get to the damage, it's going to be +1 to the damage, so it'll be a 3 damage attack. Wowzers. So those 2 miss. But we have 2, you know what, I'm going to treat that as 2 successes. I want to try and take them out with 1 shot here. So that's 2, 3, 4 successes. So 4 successes. The pistol packing Hoodlum has a defense of 2. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties, so just have to reshoot this part here. Elasta Ape had done 4 hits. He got the 10 on his impact dice and then 2 other hits. So that's 4 hits against the pistol packing Hoodlum's defense of 2. So that's giving +2. So he's getting the impact dice, his regular damage of 2, so that's 2 dice. Plus he's getting 2 more dice for the surplus. Plus he's getting 1 more dice because he charged. So he's rolling 5 dice for damage. And wow, okay, he's really done a number to this Hoodlum here. It's so that's 2, 3, 4, 5 wounds done, which is which surpasses the wound threshold of the pistol packing Hoodlum by 2. So he's just knocked this guy's block right off, and I think the crowd is really going to appreciate it. I'm gonna have to figure out where the dice was at. I don't remember right now because there was those technical difficulties. So anyway, so he's got +2 on his thing. So again, we're rolling 5 dice for the pizzazz now, and the pizzazz is 1, 2, 3 successes. So that's +3 to the points for the spectacular kill of the pistol packing Hoodlum. Okay, so from what I could see from my previous recording, it was at 5, so 3 more puts him up to 8 extra bonus points, putting Elasti-Ape to a grand total of 6, 12, plus 8 is 25 points, putting him in the lead. Now, one thing I'd realized too, now that Elasti-Ape has taken out that Hoodlum, that the crazy outlaw is actually 4 inches away. So Elasti-Ape is spending 1 momentum to use his lunging strike, which gives him +2 inches to his melee attack. His melee attack is already 2 inches, so this is him just sending that fist way out there to give Joker a bop on the chin. So spending 1 momentum dice, remembering to upgrade 2 of my dice on this attack, and yeah, so the momentum was spent for the lunging strike. The charge doesn't count for this one because the charge only counts for the next attack that was made. So that was made against the pistol packing Hoodlum, and Joker's only 4 inches away too. So anyway, here we go. Holy cow, he's on fire, this boy. So he has an accuracy of +1, so this 5 does hit. So that counts as, that's 3 hits right there. I can treat this, one thing I can do with this one, I can count it as 2. So we'll count that as 2, 3, 4 hits against the Crazy Outlaw's defense of 3. So that's 1 surplus. So that means that we have a regular damage of 2 plus 1 more for the surplus. And this is, yep, that is 2 damage to the Joker. So let's take a look at the criminal actions now. First up, we have the crazy outlaw. We have Joker, who just got punched by Elasta Ape and is an aggressive demeanor, so he's doing a 3, so he's going to charge. He just got punched, he's going to take him on, fisticuff style. So Joker has engaged Elasta Ape. So Joker has a fight of 2. He has a sword, so it's not even going to be, it's going to get by the resilience of Elasti-Ape. Elasti-Ape has a defense of 3 versus the fight of 2, and that is 1 success, so a potential of 1 damage to Elasta-Ape. So Elasta-Ape does not get the resilience to this, but is managed to resist the damage, so nothing is taken. Next up, we have the other crazy outlaw. No, where is he? Sorry. Next up, we have the Cyborg Bully. The Cyborg Bully is aggressive as well, so he is also going to charge, and will charge Glockroach. Now, this is a terrible spot for Glockroach. Glockroach does not want to be here. So the Cyborg Bully has a fight of 3 with damage 2. Cyber punch here, so he's Glockroach is not liking this. This is not. He wants to keep things at range. So Glockroach, though, is being a cockroach is tough to pin down and tough to hurt. So he's got 4 defense. He's got the highest defense out of anybody here today. So he rolls and gets 2 successes. So it does hit. So he does not nullify it. So it's 2 potential damage. So he's taking 1 damage. We'll just hop right to the Harley Quinn, who's going to charge in on the thing as well, because she's also aggressive. So she's got a fight of 2, but now she is the legendary criminal, so she gets +1 to her fight. So she's got a 3 fight as well. This is definitely not the spot that Glockroach wanted to be. Let's see what he can do about this. So he's got 4 defense against the 3 fight here. And he rolls 2 successes. So again, does not pass. So hers is a sword with damage 2 and takes 1 more damage. He's up to 2 damage. It's half dead. And finally, we have the sneaky thief. Cowardly is doing a 1, which is hide. So let me double check what she's doing on the hide, because she's already been hiding here long enough. Okay, so what's going to happen here is the criminal's going to poke her head out of here and do. She's going to hide in the bushes. One, two, three, four, 5. Yes. We're going to make Glockroach the first player. Glockroach takes the control card, and it's says that no pods are replenished. Okay. No event cards are drawn, and you're replacing 3 criminals, but you're only ever placing up to number of criminals, players +2. So we're only going to place 1 criminal. So we are placing 1 criminal, and it's another Cyborg Bully. And where's this Cyborg? He's not 9 and 10. 4. All right. I don't know that Glockroach could take another Cyborg Bully. It's going to be tough enough as it is. And feed some more crims to Elasti-Ape. Elasti-Ape is loving this. But Elasti-Ape's punches are not good against armor, so that's not good, because the Cyborg Bully does have armor. Too bad for Glockroach. I mean, if he'd just done 1 more wound, then that Cyborg Bully would be fleeing. You know, bullies, when they take too much damage, that's the rule. When they take 4 damage, they flee. The bully only got up to 3. So Glockroach has a tough choice here. Fight, and has a terrible fight stat, and just your basic punch. Not going to really do anything. Probably just get his head knocked off. So better off to disengage. So he's going to move away And that's the best hope he's got, I think. So each of the crims is going to get a disengaged strike against Glockroach. So what that means is you compare their fight stat to his athletic stat. So he has to roll 3 dice, which is his athletics. So let's see what he can do. This is versus Harley, and he gets 2. He's going to use, he has to kind of use his momentum, try and do something here. So that's 2 successes. So he's taken 1 damage, which puts him to 3. So he's still up. And as long as he gets the next one perfect, so let's angle that a bit so you can see that. So he's taken 3 out of 4 wounds. As long as he cannot get hit by the bully here, then he's going to have escaped. No, he's been hit twice, so that puts him to 5, and Glockroach is down. More's the shame that he didn't do that 1 more wound to the bully, because the bully would have run away last time if he'd put 4 wounds onto him. But so Glockroach is down, and start of next turn he can start to try and recover. And his special ability, I mean, if it was going to happen to anybody, it's good, you know, it's good that it was Glockroach, because he has the special ability when he makes recovery tests that he can upgrade 2 of his dice. Now we go on to the fight with Elasti-Ape versus the Joker. So Elasti-Ape has 5 dice. He has 3 regular, and he upgrades 2 because he's a hand-to-hand combat specialist. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4 hits because he has the accuracy of a 1, so that 5s do hit. So that's 4, which surpasses the fight score of the Crazy Outlaw by 1, or the defense by 1. So he gets +1 to his damage roll. So he has 2 damage, +1 for surpassing, and that is 2 damage, which puts Joker to 4 damage. Just 1 more wound left. And his second attack, 3 dice, 2 upgraded dice, and that is 4 more again. So 4 is 1 greater, which means that we're getting 3 dice on the damage roll. And that's 2, which exceeds Joker by 1, which means that Elasti-Ape is making an extra. So he's getting 4 dice for pizzazz now to impress the crowd. And that is 1, 2. So a bonus of 2, so he takes the Crazy Outlaw and is now at 10 bonus. And Tennis Ball, if he could laugh again, he would laugh. He's got range onto Harley and the Cyborg Bully. He doesn't have rapid fire like Glockroach does, but at least if he takes the bully down, he can go after Harley the next time. So let's start off with the bully. All right, against the bully has a defense of 2, and he has a plus accuracy of +1, so the 4 misses, but the 5 hits, so he surpasses by 1. Damage on the gun is 2, and passed by 1, but the Cyborg Bully has 2 armor, and this is not armor-piercing rounds. So wow, look at that. We got 3, and that killed the bully outright. No surplus. That was exactly what was needed. But Tennis Ball has a pizzazz of 4, earning another 2. And for Tennis Ball's second shot against Harley, yeah, there's no cover because Harley had engaged Glockroach. There's no longer cover for her, so 4, 5, +1, and that is 3 hits. Sorry, I have to remember to give out the momentums. So momentum for you and momentum for Elasti-Ape. So that's 3 hits against the defense of 3 on the Crazy Outlaw. So that's a hit, and so it's 2 damage. There's no surplus. 2 damage. That's 2 more damage. And that finishes her off. Oh, poor Glockroach. If he had only not got down, he was just in a bad position there. So the legendary criminal Harley Quinn is taken out by tennis ball. And let's see what the crowd thinks of that. They liked it. 2 more points. Okay, and into the criminal round of round 5 here. So we'll start off with the Cyborg Bully, who is close to Elasti-Ape there. So he's got an aggressive demeanor, which is going to do a number 1, which is possibly charge or maybe shoot. So let's see what he's going to do. So it's a 2, so he is going to charge. So he moves it like so. And engages Elasti-Ape. Okay, so the Cyborg Bully has a fight of 3. Elasti-Ape has a defense of 3. Good thing here is that Elasti-Ape is resilient to the blunt punching of the bully. And he rolls 2 successes. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother with that. So the attack only failed by 1. So you always subtract 1, so I add 0 dice to this. The fist has a damage rating of 2. So I'm upgrading all my dice for against blunt attacks, but you never upgrade the impact dice. And so I save 1. So Elasti-Ape takes a wound. And then the sneaky thief, cowardly. Guys, go get her. Okay, start of round 6. We have 2 crims on the table. We move the first player token to Elasti-Ape. Draw the control card. Control card says, well, again, none of the pods have been used. And first player draws 2 event cards, and we're going to place 2 crims. All right, so Elasti-Ape, first event card, Unauthorized Convict. The first player draws cards from the crim deck until a special crim is drawn. They place that criminal adjacent to a random tube. This criminal automatically has the aggressive demeanor and isn't worth points for being eliminated. Furthermore, it doesn't count towards the maximum number of crims in the zone. Wah wah. So we have a ninja. So we have a ninja assassin in zone 7. Going to give tennis ball some trouble. And the next event card is a keeper. Painstaking shot. Play after the hunter makes a shoot check that was enhanced by the focus action. Reroll to 2 dice for the shoot check. Wow, these event cards have just been terrible. Given to the guy who has no ranged weapon. Okay, nothing much for it. Have to attack that Cyborg Bully with Elasta Ape. So 5 dice, 2 of which are upgraded for the hand-to-hand specialist. And we get 3 versus a defense of 2, which is a surplus of 1. So armor pierce, weak against armor. So it's treated as though he has 1 level higher of armor. So he's got like armor 3 against me. So I'm still rolling. You never downgrade or upgrade the impact dice, so it's still going to be those 2. And so yeah, nice. 1, 2, 3 damage right there. So 3 damage on the bully with the first shot. I'll take it. Well, he'll take it. And then the next attack. 2 upgraded dice, 2 regular dice, and an impact dice. Holy tamoles. So that misses. That misses. But just because this guy is a tough nut here with his armor and everything, I'm going to treat this one as the 2. You know what? I'm going to spend 1 of my momentum, and I'm going to re-roll this 4 I rolled on the 12-sided dice. I should be able to roll a 5 or higher. Oh, you suck. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 versus the defense of 2 is 2 extra dice. So it's impact and 2 extra dice. So it's a damage 2. So there's 2 extra dice, and then 2, 3 of those. Well, it's a third D8, and there's nothing there. Not 1. Yeah, I'm going to use my last momentum, and I'm going to re-roll that. There you go. Oh, 2 damage to the thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't kill the Cyborg Bully. He's got 6 wounds, puts him to 5, but that is going to make him cowardly now. So as much as Tennis Ball would love to go after that sneaky thief who's been hiding there, hiding in this area the whole game, I'm going to have to deal with this ninja, because otherwise it's going to be a pain in the butt. But the sad part is it's not going to give me any points if I kill him. Alright, so attacking the ninja, 5 dice with a shot, and ba-boom. Accuracy of 1 doesn't help here, so that's a miss, and that's a miss. So that's 3 hits. The ninja has a defense of 3, so that's a successful. Damage of 2. That's 1, 2, 3 damage, which will not kill the assassin, but pretty close. All right, and do it again. 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's all hit. So that's excess of 2. So it's a 2 damage with an excess of 2 is 4 dice against the ninja. And that finishes her. Wow, what a good roll. What a wasted roll. So the ninja is finished, but no points were earned from that one due to the fact it was an unauthorized convict. So we'll just discard that card. And now we go on to poor Glockroach. Glockroach is incapacitated. So I'm going to use the athletics for Glockroach, because that's, you can use athletics or mind, and athletics is his better stat. So he's going to use his ability, I'll be back, and not just in a rerun, which means he can upgrade 2 of his dice. So he's running 2 d12s with this. Any successes, 6 plus, means that he can subtract 1 wound. If he goes to less than 4 wounds, then he can come back. And he rolled 1 success, so he's only at 4. So unfortunately, he's going to have to spend 1 more turn recovering. I'm actually realizing right now that I got distracted by the fact that I didn't, by that ninja and everything in the event cards, that I forgot to place the 2 crims I was supposed to place. Wouldn't have changed anything that the hunters did, because they were pretty much focused on, dedicated to doing what they were doing. So I'm going to place those 2 crims now, because that'll be important for the criminal phase. So the first criminal is a cheap thug, and the cheap thug will be going to number 10, and the second one will be an ex-commando going to number 1. So the ex-commando used to not wear underpants, but now wears them all the time. So the ex-commando is going down there, a little closer to Elasti-Ape, and then over on the far side here we'll put the cheap thug behind, like so. So let's look at the crims that we have and what they're going to do. So the Cyborg Bully, he is aggressive, which is a 2, so he's going to seek cover. Bully Cowardice, once the bully has acquired 4 wound tokens, action 3 will be flee. Okay, so he's going to seek cover. So with a seek cover action, the bully cannot seek cover while engaged, and he's engaged with the Elasti-Ape right now. So when they are told to seek cover, they will instead flee. However, this one's not going to flee because he's an aggressive demeanor. So even though he's cowardly and it says action 3 will be flee, so he's kind of turned like a coward now, bully cowardice, but it doesn't change the fact that it's an aggressive demeanor. And the rules say if it's an aggressive demeanor, they will fight. So I guess he's just feels like he's backed into a corner. He's on his last wound now, so he's going to fight Elasti-Ape. So we have 3 dice of defense versus the bully's fight of 3. I make 2 successes. So 1 through, -1 is 0, so I'm adding 0 dice to the bully's thing. So I am upgrading my defense because it is blunt, but I only do that for 1 dice because instead of the 2, because I need the 1 impact dice. And I take 1 more wound. So Elasti-Ape is at 2 wounds. Next up we have the Sneaky Thief. This Sneaky Thief is going to continue hiding. It's worked so well it's like Rue from the Hunger Games. The Cheap Thug. So the Cheap Thug over on the far side there is an aggressive demeanor, which is doing a 2, which is charge. So it's going to charge towards Tennis Ball. So it has a movement of 6. And this is where that dum-dum ended up. And then the last one, the Commando, or the Ex-Commando, is a typical demeanor. So number 3 is seek cover. So Lieutenant Bane is going to come back here, sees the bully putting some hits onto Elasta-Ape, and Elasti-Ape is weakened enough we can finish him off. Start of turn 7. Pull out the new control card. Oh, first we're going to move the first player token up to Tennis Ball. Then no pods are restocked. First player draws 1 event card, and we're going to place 3 crims. We're actually going to place 1 crim. Okay, so placing 1 crim. Let's do that now before I forget. And the event card as well. So the crim is a pistol packing Hoodlum, and that Hoodlum is going, oh, that's D12. It's number 9. So Tennis Ball is just going to line them up nicely there. You have the Cheap Thug and the pistol packing Hoodlum in a line. And let's check out that event card. Okay, knocked down. Play when a hunter receives 1 or more wound tokens. The next action the hunter must take is a universal action to stand back up. All right. So that could have been used earlier if Tennis Ball had that to knock Elasta-Ape on his butt. So we have Tennis Ball going first. As I said, Tennis Ball lined up his shots against those 2 crims. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 shoot skill versus their. So we'll start off against the closer Cheap Thug, who has a defense of 2. And I roll 3 successes. So it's a beats by 1. So I'm adding 1 to my damage of 2. Needs to be in the needs to be in the box. There we go. Only 1 success. Only 1 success. Cheap Thugs have 4 wounds, so we're going to do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to re-roll. I'll do 2 re-rolls. There we go. So that's a miss, and that's a miss. But it prevented me from losing my ammo again. So we have 3 hits, which beats the defense by 1 again. So same. So that is only 1 success. So that's 3 damage in total. Okay, now we're down to poor Glockroach here. I am so rooting for this guy. I would love to see him come back from this. So he's getting his 1 impact die plus 2 upgraded dice for recovery. And these roll 6s or higher. And that is caught. So he gets 2. So he's down to 2 wounds. At this point now, he can come back to the field. So let's put him back on the board. He can't afford to stay in the hospital any longer. Now, I'd actually left Glockroach where he'd fallen down there, but when the hunters go down, they're taken off the table and they can return to any corner. I think this corner is the best one for Glockroach. You come 4 inches in, and I know that the 4 inches is right at the curve of the arc here. I think that is the best spot for him right now. Try and get some points back. He really needs to start recovering some points here, and I think this is the best way to go. Have the first turn next turn too, so he'll be able to get the jump on them before Tennis Ball does. And now onto the fight with Elasta-Ape versus the Cyborg Bully. So Elasta-Ape is making his punch attack. Has to be in the thing. So that means, wow, he doesn't even have momentum to re-roll that. So that success is taken away. So there are still 2 successes, and the Cyborg Bully has a defense of 2, so that still does hit. So he has a defense attack of 2, but so 2, and again, downgrading what we can, but we can't downgrade the other, so got him. Just needed the 1 hit, so I was just hoping that would be the 1, so he took out the Cyborg Bully. So there's no surplus wounds there, so we're just rolling his straight up pizzazz of 3. Has to be in the box. Yeah, the crowd loved it. They thought fighting back against the thing, maybe the gong of the Elasti-Ape's fist against the metal body of the cyborg, people thought was hilarious. And so that is it. No, it's not. He still has a second action. So I think what he's going to do, just so he doesn't end up like Glockroach, is he's going to take a rest action. You know what? To heck with sitting down and resting. Elasti-Ape is a go-get-him kind of guy. He's very primal. He's just going to get in there. So he's going to use his momentum to just run in there against the commando. He wants to just jump on that guy. So that is the Cyborg Bully here now. So he's going to jump on the commando. So this is adding, so every success I get here is worth 2 inches instead of 1 inch. So I'm getting 4 plus 4 is 8 inches. Telling you, I wouldn't want to be that commando right now. That's one angry monkey. So he made it in. He is charged. The commando, I think he needed the 8 to make it in. So that is going to be a charge bonus for him on the next round. So let's take a look at the control cards here. So the Sneaky Thief. What is she doing? Cowardly. 1. Hiding. This is turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is turn 6. This is turn 7. So she's got to find somewhere else to hide. So coming out of here now. So Sneaky Thief is coming out of the hedge now and running down and hiding in this dumpster. Only hide somewhere for 3 turns. So hiding in that dumpster now. Next up, the Pistol Packing Hoodlum. Pistol Packing Hoodlum is a typical demeanor, which is doing a 2, which is shooting. So we'll shoot at Tennis Ball. This is a new feeling for Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball's never been attacked all game. So Tennis Ball has a defense of only 2, but does have armor 3. So trying to hurt like that metal ball is hard. So the Pistol Pack Hoodlum has a shoot of 2 versus a defense of 2. That says nothing. That counts as 2. Next up, we have the Cheap Thug. Cheap Thug is aggressive, which is a 1. It's going to charge. So charges in on tennis ball. Fight of 2, defense of 2. Tennis ball just rolls 10s on that impact dice for all the defense. Just like, don't even bother fighting me. Cheap Thug. Next up, we have the Commando. X-Commando. So the X-Commando is a typical demeanor, which is a 2, is going to charge, already in combat. So fight of 2 with a big ass knife. So Elasti-Ape has a defense of 3, and that is 2 successes versus the fight of 2. So the attack was thwarted. Start of round 8. We are getting close to the end of the game now. Let's see if Glockroach can claw back. We're going to start off by giving him the first turn. Next up, what do we have? No pods are restocked. That's okay. We haven't touched any. Player 1 draws. First player draws 1 event card. Plays 2 crims. We'll only place 1 because we're only down 1. And yeah. So let's do it. Drawing 1 crim. It's a petty crook. And they're going to 10, which is perfect for Glockroach. Exactly what he wanted. What he really wanted was something a little squishier that could have been worth a lot of points or something. But I mean, hey, this is still pretty squishy. We'll take what we can get here. So the crim goes down there. So we've got Cheap Thug and a pistol packing Hoodlum there. And Glockroach is going to be taking the first turn. Oh, wait, we have an event card. Just read it right here. Nothing stays the same. Play this card at any time to remove a remains in play card from play. Urban manhunting is nothing if not unpredictable. Boom. So Glockroach is going to run up. Needs to get some range in there, get within range. So that's an extra 2 inches. That'll be a total of 6. So that puts Glockroach just at the back end of the tank there, and we'll be able to target those 2 thugs with his rapid fire ability. So the first shot goes against the petty crook back there. So the petty crook has a defense of 1. So I've got 5, and the petty crook does not have cover because it's on the closer side to me of the tube. And I get +2 accuracy. I get 3 hits versus defense 1, so it's +2. So that's going to be 3 dice for the damage. That's 3, and a petty crook has 3 wounds. Yay! We're back in the game, folks. So, almost just doubled my points right there. And a pizzazz of 3. No surplus wounds here, so just 3. 1 more. Every little bit helps. Now, the defense of the pistol packing Hoodlum is increased by 1 because they have cover. So the defense is 3 versus my 5. Shoot. And that is 1 miss. So I exceed by 1, so I'm adding 1 more dice to my thing here. And that is 1 more damage, or 1 damage to the pistol packing Hoodlum. Not to forget that I get a momentum for killing the crim. And when I eliminate a crim, I gain an extra momentum. And I can move up to 4 inches, ignoring cover terrain. I'm just realizing 2 of my abilities, I have a momentum ability which moves me when I eliminate crims too, which seems a bit of a waste now. Oh well. It's like deja vu. Going back to the spot where Glockroach was when he last got jumped by the Harley Quinn and the Cyborg Bully. Next up we have Elasta Ape, who is fighting the X-Commando. Okay, Elasta Ape has 1, 2, 3 regular dice, 2 upgraded dice against the ex-commando's defense of 3. And that is terrible. That's 1 hit. Yeah, I've only got plus... Well, I got +2 accuracy, don't I? +1 accuracy. So 5's hit, so that doesn't work. Alright, so... Yeah, so I'm just going to have to do that again. 10s, all 10s. Oh, it's got a 10 where it counted. So that's 3 anyway, so that would have missed otherwise. Because those 4s... You D12 suck. Alright, so that just hit. So 2 damage. Ex-commandos do not have any armor. That's 2 damage. Elasti-Ape put the beat down. Now, Tennis Ball's in the position he does not want to be in, which is stuck in hand-to-hand combat. He'd love to be able to just shoot these guys down, but has to try and punch his way through this thug first. Not that, Tennis Ball's any slouch in the fighting department. He does have 4 fight, but the robot punch is not really the best. So, Robo Punch. Hiya. Well, his dice have been hot. What can I say? So that's 4 hits with the Robo Punch versus a defense of 2 is 2 extra. So it's a damage of 1 with 2 extra. It means 3 dice being rolled, and the thug has 4 wounds. So if I roll red on the 10 again, I might actually get this guy. Nothing. Okay, so he's going to try that again. 4 dice. Oof, nothing, like less than nothing. If that was a shot, that would be his ammo gone for reals, because he's already lost his ammo once. Okay, Tennis Ball had a really bad turn there. And that is it for the hunters. On to the criminal phase. First criminal up, the ex-commando. Typical demeanor is doing a number 3, seeking cover. He is not going to seek cover because he is in combat. When a criminal who's seeking cover is already engaged, they will flee unless they were aggressive. He is typical, so he is going to flee. So, he's running away. Can't take a hit. So that means that Elasti-Ape is going to get some free disengagement strikes. So disengagement strike means that he's going to flee his full 6 inches, but as he does, Elasti-Ape gets to hit him with one of his strongest melee weapons, which is his only melee weapon, which is his stretchy monkey punch, which does 2 damage. And that's just a straight 2 damage. There's no rolls or anything. It's just applied. The commando has 5 wounds, so he barely survived that, but is just realizes he's completely outmatched. And he ends up over here. Take your wounds with you. Next up, we have the Sneaky Thief. The Sneaky Thief is number 2. Flee or charge? No, this is just the second turn in the recycling bin here, so they're going to stay there for another turn. Can't say I blame them. I would do the same thing. Pistol Packing Hoodlum. That is the one up by Glockroach. They are typical demeanor. Typical demeanor is doing a 3. Seek cover or flee. They just got shot at by some unknown assailant, and yeah, I would probably do the same too. So let's see what we have here. Boom. 4. Seek cover. So after getting shot at by Glockroach, the Pistol Packing Hoodlum decides to take some cover behind the door of the storage container there. Right there. And finally, we have the Cheap Thug. The Cheap Thug is aggressive. Number 2, charge. He's already locked in combat with Tennis Ball here. So let's see what can do. So let's see if Tennis Ball can repeat that miraculous rolls from before. So with a fight of 2, defense of 2, can I roll the red impact dice? Now a 10 again. No, but I do get two saves and block that attack completely. That armor is completely unnecessary because even with 2 defense, tennis ball just can't be hurt. Okay, this is round 9. This might be the second last turn of the game. Let's see what happens. So, Elasti-Ape. In case restocking pause doesn't matter, no event cards are drawn. Place 1 crim, and we can place 1 crim. And that's going to be it. So let's put that one down. And the crim is a Sneaky Thief. And that Sneaky Thief is going to appear at number 6. Right there. You know, it's almost like these thieves had it planned out, that they knew exactly which tunnel to come out at that had all the hiding spots. So maybe these thieves are going to make it out alive. Not if Tennis Ball has anything to say about it. Okay, Elasta Ape's a little disturbed because I really wanted to use his charge ability, but the commando chickened out. So now the question is, do I finish off the commando or do I go after those other crims or maybe the pod? I think I'm going to go after the commando and then maybe the pod by the McDooms here. Push it back up against the wall. Yeah, I think that's the best plan. So I'm going to, I don't have any momentum. So that's going to be 5. That'll get me close enough to hit. I've got the 2-inch range. Just moving in here. 5 inches puts me just behind there. So that's good enough for the charge, I'd say, because I am engaged. Okay, so Elasti-Ape has the impact dice, 2 regular dice, 2 boosted dice because of hand-to-hand specialist, plus I'll get the charge bonus if I land this hit. So that is, I'm hitting on 5s, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm confident I can do it without it, so instead of taking this as 2 strikes, I'm just treat it as 1, so that's still 4, which is more than I need. I will take an extra momentum for that. You can, instead of using, when you roll 10 on the impact dice, you can take a momentum instead, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'll take the momentum. So I beat this defense by 1. So I'm getting 1, 2, 3. I'm getting a bonus dice to my damage here. Oh, charge says when the hunter ends, blah, 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 then add 1 to the attack's damage. So I'm adding 1 more. Yeah, so all I need is 1 success here. And I've got 2. So that's 2 successes. That kills the ex-commando. Now he's an ex-person who was alive. I get a surplus of 1, so I'm adding my 3 pizzazz plus 1. And that's 3 more. I was half considering just making Tennis Ball walk away from this cheap thug, like he's just not worth the fight. But he's worth 6 points, whereas the Sneaky Thieves are worth 5 points each. So, yeah, might as well take this guy out first. Okay, Robot Punch. It's cocked. That was a 6. So that's all hits. So the defense of a cheap thug is 2, so that's 2 in excess. So Robot Punch is 1, rolling 3 dice for damage. And nothing again. My goodness. He can hit, just it's like a robot pillow punch. And the next one is only 1 hit. He's getting frustrated. Use 2 of his momentum to get 2 more. That was a 7. So that's 3 versus 2 and 2 damage. That's 1, which kills the thug. Finally. Rolling 4 dice for his pizzazz. And 2 bonus. 2 bonus. Okay, so moving up Glockroach with an athletics of 3. That's only going to be 5 inches, but that should be enough. So that puts Glockroach right up into the pistol-packing Hoodlum's face, and also right up to that pod. I think grabbing the pod is going to be an important part of his upcoming strategy. So now Glockroach is going to shoot the pistol-packing Hoodlum. Shoot a 5, accuracy of 2. That's a good roll. So only 1 miss there. So that's 2-4 versus the defense of 2 on the Hoodlum is going to be 2 surplus. All right, so 2 extra dice on the damage, and it does it. He's got him. It's even 1 point of overkill, so that gives a +1 to the pizzazz for Glockroach. And that's 3. The crowd really liked that one. So 3 more. That's a 6. And the pistol-packing Hoodlum comes down here. So all we have left now are 2 sneaky thieves, and the cowardly demeanor says they're going to seek cover or hide. Now one's already hiding. This is their last turn hiding. After that, they will have to, for the last turn, they'll have to do something else. But let's see what this one's going to do. And I rolled a 1, so they're going to seek cover. Fool. Got a nice hiding spot right there, and you choose to seek cover. So right there, hiding behind that thing against the robot who ignores cover. This guy doesn't actually do his homework. And into the 10th turn. 10th turn. Put the first player back up to tennis ball. And here is the control card. Control card says pod 1 restocked. We don't have any pods taken. First player draws 2 event cards. So first one is losing blood. Play on a hunter that has at least 1 wound token. This card is removed from play when the hunter takes 2 rest actions. These rest actions don't have to be taken during the same activation, and they don't get rid of wound tokens like they normally do. At the end of every turn in which the hunter has this card, the players must roll 1d10. On 1 to 3, the hunter gains a wound token. Armor doesn't prevent this. On a 4 to 10, the hunter doesn't gain a wound token. Okay, so yeah, he's going to obviously just play this right away on Elasti-Ape, because Elasti-Ape needs to be held back a notch. And yeah, so Glockroach has a card that can remove that card, but no thank you. Yeah, sees the benefit of that. And so then the next card is discarded reload. The first player places an object marker anywhere in the zone that is more than 12 inches away from any hunter. The first hunter to become adjacent to that marker gains a reload, which can be used for any depletable attack. Remove this card from play when a hunter picks up the reload. Okay, so what I'll do is I've got some I'm just going to put a bottle cap. At this point, I don't think anybody really cares. I'm just putting it in between those buildings. I'm just going to put it up between those buildings right there. So it's more than 12 inches from Glockroach and tennis ball. Definitely more than 12 inches from Elasti-Ape down here. Placing 2 crims. The first crim is a crooked lawyer. He's going to number 5. So there he is right there. And next up we have a cheap thug. And the cheap thug is going to number 3. Up there. So far enough away from Elasti-Ape that I think should be able to stay out of trouble. But tennis ball might make it there. Tennis ball might be the only one to have a chance. We'll see. Okay, so from here, tennis ball has a clear line of sight to the lawyer and then the thief behind. So with some luck here, can maybe take out both of them. Start off with the lawyer. So tennis ball's gun has a range of 12, so that's why it's within range. So that's 3, 4, 5 on the shoot. Accuracy +1. And that is a complete whiff. Oh dear. And then that's 3 against the lawyer. 3 against a defensive 1. There's 2 extra, so it's a 4 damage, so 4 dice, and another whiff. Wow. Tennis ball, you are... I didn't know tennis balls could deflate, but you certainly are. Now for a moment I thought I was forgetting about Glockroach's ability to move when they've killed a criminal. But I didn't want to because I want Glockroach to open that chest there, that pod. We're finally going to open a pod this game. So by doing this, Glockroach is going to earn D10 points, plus is going to get a special item, can get momentum, can get a performance upgrade, can get a reload, or heal wounds. Now, I mean, he's down to half his wounds, but at this point, if he goes out again, he's done anyway. He needs to just do what he can to just get back in the game here. So I think Glockroach is actually going to go for the performance upgrade. So he's going to get +1 to his athletics to help him to just get where he needs to be right now. And he gets 5 points. Right there. Glockroach gets to keep this bonus to his athletics until he rolls a 1 on the impact dice, at which time he suffers the 1 is with his normal effects, plus he loses that performance enhancing drugs. Wowzers. This was a run, by the way, with his new athletics. He's trying to get into position. So this is his whole turn, but it's he's going to be first next turn, so maybe he can do something to take out these 2 crims on the other side of this water tower. So let's see where he can get with that. That's 2, 3, 4 extra inches, so that's 8 inches. So out of nowhere, the new buff Glockroach just pushes in front of Tennis Ball, who's been kind of giving up anyway. He's getting all sulky. And yeah, so he's there now, ready to take initiative on the next turn, if there is a next turn. And now we have Elasti-Ape for what might be the last play of the game. Elasti-Ape is going to try to make it over to that chest over there. So he's going to use his momentum to double his any successes on the athletics with his stretchy legs. So let's see what he can do. So Elasti-Ape has athletics of 4. And he gets 2 successes. That counts as 4 inches. Plus 4 is 8. He doesn't quite make it. So that was his first action. So the second action, I'm just going to move up to here. You can always move 4 inches for free. I don't even need to roll for that. Okay, so it's control phase. So this turn's going to end on a 5+ after we're done all this. So the criminal actions. Let's look at the first criminal here. We have the cheap thug, who's the one up here. All right. So the cheap thug is an aggressive demeanor. So he's going to do a 1, which is charge. So let me see who's the closest. Okay, it hardly mattered. I mean, Elasti-Ape was closer, but he had to run around that way. Next up, we have the crooked lawyer. The crooked lawyer is cowardly, and cowards are going to seek cover or hide. So let's see what he does. 9. He's hiding. Hump. So he's hidden in that recycling bin. Next up, we have the sneaky thieves. So the sneaky thief, we'll call this the one who's been hiding the whole game quite successfully. So we'll call this one Rue. So Rue is doing a 2. Flee or charge. Well, there you go. Let's see what Rue's going to do here. 7. charging. You know, you did so well hiding all game, and now what do? You run into Elasta-Ape. What a way to end yourself. You know, look, and he's even like, am I imagining things, or is it like the sneaky thief mocking Elasta-Ape's pose? Just pure mockery there. This better go one more turn, I swear. Elasta-Ape's going to have some words with you. They are going to flee or charge, and they are going to also charge. So they're going to charge Glockroach. So it doesn't quite reach Glockroach. You know, they're certainly acting brave, acting tough on the last turn, and they think the bell's about to go, but it's like, oh, overtime! Oops. All right, so all the cards have been played. This is the last one, so the game is ending on a 5+. Let's see if this is it. Or does Elasti-Ape get to have words with that thief? In the box, please. Ugh, that's cocked. It's a 5. So 5+. So the game is ended. So all that's left to do now is tally up the points and see where we all ended up. Okay, and here are the standings. In third place, we have Glockroach. Glockroach had a bit of a rough go there, getting knocked out and everything. Sent him back severely. So Glockroach killed pistol-packing Hoodlum, 2 petty crooks, and got 11 bonus points from the fans for a grand total of 27. And in second place, we have Tennis Ball. Tennis Ball scored a grand total of 49 points. 41 points with Crims and 8 points with the fan approval. So killing a nice smorgasbord here of a stealthy sniper, a crazed outlaw, which is a legendary crazed outlaw, a cyborg bully, cheap thug, and a petty crook. Kind of like your full house or your straight of criminals here. Also killed a ninja, but the ninja was an unauthorized ninja, so unfortunately I got no more points for Tennis Ball. First place, the man, the legend, Elasti-Ape. Elasti-Ape really rocked this one. Just got the most points in killing crims as well as the most points in fan points. Elasti-Ape scored 47 points in crims, including Ex-Commando, Cyborg Bully, Crazed Outlaw, Pistol Packing Hoodlum, Crooked Lawyer, and a Petty Crook. And then 15 points in fan points. Just the crowd loved the stretchy monkey. So that is it for the battle report for Urban Manhunt. Let me take you to my final thoughts. Well, that's it for the battle report. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I had a good time playing it. It was really good to get that game back to the table again, and it's one that I look forward to playing more, and really one I look forward to introducing a lot of my friends to, because I think this is going to be very popular with my group of friends. I think there's a lot of people I know who would enjoy this game. I just need to get the opportunity to show it to them. Love that the fact that the game is miniatures agnostic, so you don't have to buy miniatures from a particular company in order to play this game. You can use whatever you have. So like you saw, I used a game, the tennis ball was from a game called Adrenaline. Glockroach and Elasta-Ape came from Old Glory Miniatures. I think that might be the name of the company. They're a company down in the States that I was just sort of checking out some of the stuff they had, and I came across those, and I just loved the miniatures, so I want to use those. And then all the criminals came from my Batman Gotham City Chronicles set, and so that's where I used got my criminals from. So yeah, you can use whatever you have available for your own things. Even like if you've watched my videos on Raven Feast, that's the one. If when Raven Feast, you had these cardboard standees, and you can use cardboard standees if you really want. Looking back at the game, what I really noticed was that Elasta-Ape really had a huge advantage in that he was all alone on his one side, so he just got all the criminals on the one side, whereas Glockroach and Tennis Ball were fighting for the other side, and then poor Glockroach got knocked out, which really set him back. So there was also, I was hoping to get more climbing in there, making use of Elasta-Ape's ability, but he never had to, and the criminals never climbed, and they never lasted long enough to try and go anywhere like that. So might have to look back at the rules and see what they say about things like that. And one other thing too, well, actually a couple other things. One, I noticed that in making the characters, Glockroach had those overlapping abilities in terms of, for the momentum and the special ability. When he kills a crim, he can scuttle away. So I guess maybe he could have scuttled away and used the momentum to scuttle even further, but I never got there. So I would, if I was to play Glockroach again, when I play Glockroach again, I will certainly tweak that one a little bit just to give him more variation in his abilities, that he's not overlapping in that way. The second big thing I remembered after the battle report was done was that I'd completely forgotten about the well-rounded ability of Tennis Ball, where he could upgrade 1 dice every time, once per turn, rather, and if he gets 3 successes, gains a momentum. I mean, that was huge, and that could have made a big difference to Tennis Ball. So, those are the little things that we have to remember. I mean, when I'm trying to control 3 hunters, plus all the criminals, plus everything, plus do the video, it's inevitable that you're going to forget something, but that was kind of a big thing to forget, and so my apologies, but we'll see for next time. If you like the video, then please do like and subscribe. Tell other people about the channel. Tell them that mostly what I'm doing is talking about games and their educational value, how we can use games for teaching children, teaching ourselves, teaching whomever, and using them as a delivery service for the educational content that we have. That's my whole mantra as a teacher. I've been a teacher with the Peel District School Board for 20 years, and I teach the way I wish I was taught. I wish I'd learned more this way when I was in school. And while, as I said, I don't think Urban Manhunt is a game that's necessarily suitable for schools, it's certainly one if you're playing at home with other kids, then you're okay with that, then hey, go for it. There's just, through games, there's just so much learning, especially the reading, the math that's involved in playing these games. I just highly recommend it. So please, again, hit like and subscribe, tell other people about it. It really does help the channel, and I do appreciate it. And that is going to wrap it up for today's episode. Until next time, I am Craig Thompson-Wood, your host on Teaching with Board Games, saying thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school?